Hello buddy, today, we're taking you on a journey through the world of the samurai with 10 of the most epic samurai movies you absolutely need to watch. Get ready for epic battles, political intrigue, and the occasional samurai-themed meme. So welcome back to Filmflix, let's go to the video. "13 Assassins" is set in 1844, near the end of Japan's samurai era, and follows a group of 13 samurai on a mission to stop a cruel lord, Naritsugu. This lord, who is the brother of the shogun, commits terrible acts, causing great suffering. To prevent him from gaining more power, a government official recruits a skilled samurai named Shimada to form a team to assassinate Naritsugu. Shimada gathers 12 more warriors, each with their own skills and personalities. Together, they set out on a dangerous mission. The samurai know they are heavily outnumbered, as Naritsugu has a much larger army, but they use strategy and plan to ambush him in a village that they turn into a trap. The film builds up to a long and intense battle where the small group of samurai face off against Naritsugu's forces. The action is well choreographed, and the film gives attention to each of the characters, making the fight scenes easier to follow. The movie is about bravery, strategy, and the samurai code of honor during a time when this way of life was fading. Directed by Takashi Miike, 13 Assassins delivers a thoughtful story along with its action, focusing on the samurai's mission and their dedication to stopping a dangerous man, even though the odds are against them. Rurouni Kenshin Origins follows the story of Kenshin Himura, a former assassin known as Batusai the Manslayer, who has now renounced violence and travels the countryside with a vow to never kill again. Set in Japan during the early Meiji period, Kenshin carries a reverse-bladed sword as a symbol of his commitment to peace. He meets Kaoru Kamaya, who runs a small, struggling dojo, and decides to help her in return for a place to stay. Meanwhile, a ruthless businessman named Kanryu Takeda forces Megumi Takani, a skilled medicine maker, to create opium for him. Megumi escapes and seeks refuge at Kaoru's dojo, where Kenshin and Kaoru protect her from Kanryu's men. Throughout the film, Kenshin is drawn into various conflicts while trying to stick to his vow of non-violence. The movie features dynamic fight scenes, with fast-paced choreography and visually interesting camera work. The story blends action with moments of reflection on Kenshin's past and his determination to live a peaceful life despite the challenges he faces. Directed by Keishi Otomo, Rurouni Kenshin Origins is an adaptation of the popular manga and anime series, bringing the characters and story to life in a realistic setting. Samurai Marathon is set in late feudal Japan and follows the story of a group of samurai who are challenged to run a marathon by their lord, hoping to prepare them for potential future conflicts. The lord, concerned that his men have grown lazy in peacetime, organizes this intense race, which is secretly joined by his rebellious daughter, Princess Yuki. The story also involves a ninja named Jinnai Karasawa, who is secretly loyal to the shogun and working undercover in the lord's court. As the marathon begins, various characters are tested, both physically and in terms of their loyalty. The movie is inspired by a true event, and although the first half of the film focuses more on character introductions and setting the scene, the second half picks up with more action, including a few fight scenes. Directed by Bernard Rose, the film features stunning visuals and a unique music score by Philip Glass, which gives the movie an unusual and atmospheric tone. The movie builds toward a more intense and action-packed finale, showcasing samurai battles and the challenges faced during the marathon, making it an interesting blend of historical drama and action. Blade of the Immortal is about a samurai named Manji who has been cursed with immortality. After losing his sister in a tragic event, Manji wanders through life carrying the weight of his past. He can't die, but he's haunted by the mistakes he's made. One day, a young girl named Rin asks him for help after her parents are killed by a group of assassins led by Kajihisa Anatsu. This group is trying to change the way of the samurai, and Rin wants revenge. Manji agrees to help her, and the movie follows his journey as he faces different enemies, each with their own unique fighting styles. The story is filled with intense sword fights, and the action is brutal and bloody. Manji's immortality allows him to survive many of these battles, no matter how severe the injuries he suffers. The movie is directed by Takashi Miike, and it focuses on themes like revenge, honor, and the changing traditions of the samurai. With a mix of action, martial arts, and dramatic moments, Blade of the Immortal offers a visually striking and action-packed experience, especially for fans of samurai movies. Unforgiven is a Japanese adaptation of Clint Eastwood's classic western, set during the Meiji period in 19th century Japan. The story follows Jubi Kamada, a former samurai known for his violent past, who has now retired to a quiet life as a farmer. He is approached by an old comrade, Kingo Baba, who convinces him to take on one last job, to hunt down a group of men who disfigured a local prostitute. Jubi is reluctant at first, but he agrees, hoping the reward money will help provide for his children. Along with Kingo and a young man named Goro Sawada, Jubi heads to town to face the men responsible, but they soon find themselves up against a ruthless police chief named Ichizo Oishi. The movie explores themes of revenge and the lasting impact of violence, all set against the backdrop of Japan's changing society. Stunning visuals of snowy forests and rugged landscapes add to the atmosphere, and the story remains closely aligned with the original film, while incorporating elements of Japan's history and the Ainu people's struggles. Rurouni Kenshin Part 2, Kyoto Inferno follows the story of Kenshin Himura, a former assassin who now lives peacefully, refusing to kill. However, his quiet life is interrupted when the government asks him to help stop a dangerous man named Shishio, who is threatening to burn the city of Kyoto. Shishio was once like Kenshin, an assassin who worked for the government, but he was betrayed and left for dead. Now, he's back with his own group of warriors called the 10 Swords, and he's planning to take over the country. Kenshin, known for using a special sword that doesn't kill, struggles with the idea of getting involved in violence again. Throughout the movie, Kenshin wrestles with his past as a killer and his promise not to take any more lives. Along the way, he meets allies and faces off against some of Shishio's fighters. The film builds up to a dramatic confrontation between Kenshin and Shishio, but it leaves the story unresolved, setting up for the next movie in the series. It's a visually impressive film with exciting sword fights, focusing on Kenshin's internal conflict and the looming threat of Shishio's destructive plan. Harakiri, Death of a Samurai, is about a samurai named Hanshiro Tsugumo who arrives at the House of Two, asking to perform a ritual suicide, known as seppuku, in the house's courtyard. The house's chief retainer, Kagiyu, is suspicious because many samurai had been requesting seppuku as a bluff, hoping to receive money or work instead. To discourage Hanshiro, Kagiyu tells the story of another samurai named Motome, who had come to the house with a similar request. Motome's fate is tragic, and his story is meant to warn Hanshiro. However, as Hanshiro prepares for seppuku, he begins to share a story of his own, which slowly reveals more about his true intentions and his connection to Motome. The film unfolds gradually, focusing on the lives of the samurai and their struggles in a time when the shogunate had shut down many domains, leaving samurai without work. Directed by Takashi Miike, this movie is a remake of the 1962 classic Harakiri and features striking cinematography and music, while staying close to the original story's themes of honor, loss, and the harsh realities faced by the samurai. 47 Ronin is a fantasy action movie loosely based on the true story of 47 masterless samurai seeking revenge for the disgrace of their master, Lord Asano. In the film, Lord Asano is tricked by Lord Akira into breaking a rule at a fighting tournament, and as punishment, Asano is forced to commit ritual suicide. The samurai, now Ronin, are led by a half-demon, half-human warrior named Kai, played by Keanu Reeves, who was once treated as an outcast but now helps the Ronin in their quest for revenge. Throughout the movie, the group faces various obstacles, including magical creatures, a shape-shifting witch, and other supernatural enemies. The film blends traditional samurai themes with fantasy elements like dragons and enchanted swords. As the Ronin work together to restore their honor, they must also battle powerful forces that stand in their way, while Kai tries to prove his worth as a warrior. The movie combines action, sword fights, and fantasy to retell the legendary tale in a unique way. Mumen, the Land of Stealth, is a story about Mumen, a highly skilled but greedy ninja living in the IGA region of Japan, a place known for its mercenary ninjas who fight only for money. Mumen, more focused on earning rewards to impress his wife, has little interest in anything beyond his personal gain. However, when a powerful warlord's son plans to conquer the region, the actions have serious consequences for everyone, including Mumen. The movie explores how the characters, on both sides of the conflict, are driven by different motivations, from personal ambitions to a sense of duty. The film mixes action and humor, with dramatic battle scenes alongside moments of lightheartedness. As the story progresses, deeper themes of money, loyalty, and moral dilemmas start to emerge, leading the characters to question what truly matters to them. The movie balances the excitement of ninja battles with a thoughtful look at human motivations and relationships. Killing is a story about a young samurai named Mokunishin Suzuki, living in 19th century Japan, who struggles with the idea of killing. He spends his days helping rice farmers in a small village and practicing his sword skills with a local boy named Ichisuk, who dreams of becoming a warrior. Ichisuk's sister, Yu, worries about her brother's safety but also has feelings for Mokunishin. Things change when an older samurai, Jirazaemon Sawamura, arrives and recruits Mokunishin and Ichisuk to join him on a journey to defend the shogun. However, before they can leave, a group of bandits arrives, creating tension and violence. Mokunishin is caught between his skills as a fighter and his reluctance to take a life, while Sawamura has no such hesitation. The film explores the internal conflict of a samurai who finds it difficult to kill, even when faced with danger. The movie is set mostly in fields and forests, with a focus on the quiet moments leading up to a single intense fight scene.
Well, that's it for today, buddy. I hope you enjoyed our picks. If you didn't find your next favorite movie here, don't worry, it's time to click this video, and I'll see you there. I'm Pomode from Filmflix. Thanks for watching today's video. Peace out.
I don't wanna go to work cause my boss is a jerk and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life cause I don't feel alive and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for me.